Hello again, YouTube. This is Daddy-O's Reviews, back again with another shoe review. So this time we're looking at the Alden 974. This is their shell cordovan balmoral wingtip. And this one is on the Tremont last. The 974 is on the Tremont last. And obviously I've done a lot of different shoe reviews, a lot of wingtip shoe reviews, so I'll point out some of the differences about these 974s as compared to a couple of the other shoes that we've looked at in the past. But first, let's take a look at these shoes themselves. So these are a shell cordovan balmoral wingtip. Let me zoom out just a moment. So you can see, wingtip, obviously I think is self-explanatory. These are short wing, meaning that the actual wing portion comes down middle of the foot. Balmoral, so you have the laces that are actually in eyelets that are attached or part of the upper, not into a separate piece of leather that is then sewn onto the upper. The 974 provides you with a double oak leather sole. So thicker sole means that the soles will last longer. And then just like I think all of the Alden shoes, they have the dovetailed rubber heel, which eliminates some of the slipping that you would otherwise have on especially wet floors. Like I think all Alden shoes, you have a heel pad to aid in your comfort, and then the cork foot bedding, which you cannot see, but that's in the center part of the shoe, I guess above the sole itself. So a couple of interesting things about these shoes. Number one, Alden makes a bunch of other wingtips as well, and so I'm going to bring some of those out just to show you and compare. First of all, Alden makes a wingtip that is very similar to this, except it's a blucher approach. So what I mean by that is you have the eye stays sewn into a piece of leather that is then sewn onto the upper of the shoe. So that's a little bit less formal. Generally, these are something that I'd be comfortable wearing, in a business setting, in a suit, maybe some odd slacks. And then these also have single oak soles, so you can see they're thinner in the sole itself than these are. These are thicker. And then obviously different toe medallion, different decorative medallions around the shoe itself. In addition to that, Alden also makes a very similar shoe for Brooks Brothers. And so I'll bring that out here. The Brooks Brothers version is made on a different last. So this is on a proprietary Brooks Brothers last. And you can see that it's kind of flat and it comes to a soft square in the toe. Very similar to the Plaza last, but it is slightly different. And then you also notice that you have exposed eyelets in the Brooks Brothers version versus the hidden eyelets in this. So this is going to be a little bit more formal, but it's also a very different last. So what's nice about this is you can find the last that fits your foot best. These shoes tend to be great for people that are kind of medium to slightly narrow in the width, and then also tend to be flat in the forefoot. That last seems to work well for those people. The Tremont last generally is a little bit more roomy, and so it's better for people with slightly wide feet or with high arches, because then you have more space up here to fit the high arch without having the laces spread apart, the eye stays spread apart on you. So that's kind of a brief overview of the shoe. In addition to those couple of shoes, there's also obviously the wingtip blucher. This particular one is a Florsheim version, but Alden makes a very similar version. High wingtip, comes to a high point here, double oak soles. Like I say, this is a Florsheim, but Alden makes a very, very similar one to this. And then, since we're looking at other makers, Allen Edmonds is usually seen as kind of one of the main competitors to Alden. And so this is Allen Edmonds' version of the same shoe. They call it the Cambridge, and what you'll notice is it's very, very similar. Allen Edmonds, at the time that they were making this particular pair, they were not darkening up the shell cordovan leather like they do today. So if you were to buy these shoes today, they would look very similar in color to Alden's. And basically what Alden does is they put on an extra layer of treatment onto the surface of the leather, which then over time wears off. So you'll notice as you look at older and older shoes, or as your shoes get older and older, they become a little bit more brown, maybe even reddish like these are. I particularly like the way that these colors look, and so that's why I like those shoes. So that's a brief run through the Alden 974. If you have any questions or comments, please post below. Be happy to respond. Thanks.